Hello, fellow fantasy sports fans. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Draft Preview 2021. Here we are. We are ready to go. We can't wait to start talking about the players. We are here together. It is Kasey, Vlad to the Bone Scheinbold, and Ross the Boss here with Dr. Dan. It's good to see you guys. We are going to turn to quarterbacks first. We're going to turn to the number one quarterback expert in the nation. It's Kasey Scheinbold. He has been picking quarterbacks since he identified Bart Starr as a great quarterback, I believe it was in the 50s. You did great,
60s.
Kasey.
Yeah, I did very well. I did.
Right.
I was a big fan.
So let's get right to it. You're going to do the top 10. Then Ross and I are going to go through our sleepers, our busts, and our value picks. You take us through the top 10. The floor is yours.
All right, guys. Well, quarterbacks routinely are the highest scoring position in fantasy football. And so getting an elite quarterback or getting one of the top quarterbacks can be the difference between making the playoffs and missing the playoffs. And so it's really important to get the right quarterback for your team. First is kind of the undisputed champion of quarterbacks, and that's for the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. The guy just does it all. He throws for crazy amounts of yardages and touchdowns. That offense just puts up points in bunches, and Patrick Mahomes is the centerpiece of that. So he's obviously your number one. I don't think number two is that debatable either this year. Going into last year, he was considered a boom or bust pick. A lot of people weren't high on him, myself included, but he finally put the accuracy woes behind him and proved that he can score with his feet or through the air with his arm. And that's Josh Allen in Buffalo. He's been great last year. He's predicted to do great again. He's got Stephon Diggs, a number one receiver. So he's got the skill and the talent around him to do a great job. Number three, I'm taking a little risk. He's coming off of a big injury, but I love him. And that's Dak Prescott of the Cowboys. They were throwing the ball all over the field before he got hurt last year. He's got elite pass catchers everywhere and a running back who can take pressure off him. So I have him number three. Number four, to me, is this year's biggest gamble in terms of somebody who's guaranteed a job, and that's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray started off last year in Arizona great. He was tremendous through the first 9 games. The last 8 games, he was not very good. I believe he was the 16th or 17th ranked quarterback for the end of the season, and so he's got to prove he can put it together for a full season. But the guy's got elite wheels. He's got really good passing skills. He's, of course, has DeAndre Hopkins there, the all-world receiver. So he's got the talent around him. They threw James Conner onto his team in the backfield. He can catch some passes too. Numbers 5, 6, and 7, I kind of didn't know where to rank them with each other. But at number 5, I put Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, that's assuming he plays for the Green Bay Packers this year because we still don't know what's going on with that contract situation or the trade demands. But while he's the elder statesman of my top 10, he's amazing. He's got Devontae Adams. He always puts up elite numbers, and he can run the ball. So I have him at number 5. Number 6 is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens is another two-way threat with the ball. He can run, he can throw. They're trying to get him more accurate, and he's got some wide receivers. So he's going to put up big numbers for you there. Number 7 is Russell Wilson, maybe the best all-around quarterback in the game right now. Fantasy-wise, they like to run the ball a lot. That's why he's not higher up on the list. But with DK Metcalf, the sky's the limit for him. He always puts up the best numbers. Number 8, I'm taking somebody with a change of scenery, and that's Matt Stafford on his move to LA from Detroit. The Rams have great receivers. He's a really good quarterback who is surrounded by a terrible roster for years. I think this is going to be a year where you see him shine. He doesn't run the ball. He's one-dimensional, but he can sling it, and they've got receivers all over the field for him. Number 9 is another bit of a surprise, and that's Justin Herbert with the LA. Sorry, I wanted to say San Diego, but the LA Chargers. He came out of nowhere to put up these amazing numbers and help a lot of teams who drafted him as their number 2 quarterback last year to fantasy prominence because it was unexpected. He's got Keenan Allen, so he's got a lot there. And number 10 is probably the biggest risk, and that's Deshaun Watson, only because he doesn't want to play for the Texans. The Texans want him to play. He's kind of a PR nightmare with everything else that's going on in his life. And so I don't think they can get value trading him. So it's a question of whether or not he plays. If he plays, we've all seen it. The guy can do it all. He can put up elite numbers. And so I'm a big fan. I'm just not sure. So that's why I dropped him to number 10.
Great job, Kasey. I'm glad that Bart Starr was not on that list. Okay, Ross, we are going to talk about our sleepers, busts, and value picks. I'm going to defer to you because I'm a gentleman. You go ahead first. You talk about your sleepers, then busts, then value picks. Go ahead.
Here's a surprise for my sleeper picks. Are you ready? He's a Bengal. He's number 9. His name is Joe Burrow. He has 3 headed dragons in Cincinnati now. He has Chase, he has Boyd, he has Higgins. Those 3 receivers alone are to be will be drafted. Will probably be the first trio receivers to be drafted. Kasey Scheinfold. And you know that Joe Burrow, that offensive line has improved tremendously. They drafted, they signed, they did unbelievable stuff to protect that kid. Joe Burrow is going to have a great year. I think he'll be a top 10 quarterback, and I feel that this could be his year to break out, obviously, because last year he was hurt. The other one that I love that showed me a lot of promise last year is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts last year, he can run, he can pass. That guy's motivated. I mean, he wants to prove now he doesn't have to worry about Carson Wentz. I mean, we'll talk about him very soon. Don't worry. He's now in Indianapolis, but Jalen Hurts to me is just like Lamar Jackson. This guy loves to run. He loves to score. He's a threat either way on the field. I like him. He's motivated and he's young, which I love. So those 2 are my 2 sleeper picks. Dan, I'll let you go with your sleeper picks.
All right, well, this teaches me not to defer to you. My 2 sleeper picks were Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts. Really interesting, but I will say, Joe Burrow is so much of a sleeper, I think he's in the top 10. I would rather actually have him than Aaron Rodgers because we don't know where he's going to play. I'd rather have him than Deshaun Watson. I'd even rather have him than Matthew Stafford. Nothing against you, Kasey, because you've been picking these for years. But I think Joe Burrow has the weapons to do it. He was showing the promise to do it. I think Jalen Hurts is in for a big, big year. The Eagles are going to be in a lot of high-scoring games. He doesn't have to worry about Carson Wentz. He's not going to end up on the bench, so he's another sleeper of mine.
Ross, one thing I've got to tell you about the Eagles really quick. They changed offensive lines 25 times last year. It was they had so many injuries. This year, they're healthy. They won't be an elite offensive line, but they'll be good, and they'll be able to protect Hurts like they should. So I totally forgot to mention that the offensive line for the Eagles was a disaster last year. I mean, It was really a disaster, guys, and it showed because they didn't play well. But now they're healthy, and I feel that they got all those problems solved. And I think you're right. I think Hurts will have a really good year.
And on top of it, Jalen Hurts can hurt people with his legs. So, all right, I'm going to go first and bust.
Go ahead.
You can come back because otherwise we might not have the same list because when people are this good, they do think the right way.
Yeah.
Two busts. One, Trevor Lawrence is going to be I'm sure he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. But he's coming in, he's a rookie, and I just don't see him having the kind of season that he needs. Urban Meyer's adjusting to the situation. I don't really trust the Jaguars with quarterbacks that much. I do think he'll be good overall. I just don't think he'll be good this season. Another bust this year, I don't think Carson Wentz is going to do well in Indianapolis. I think he's going to end up on the bench. This is a hot take, but I'm going to put it out there. Ross, how about you?
I, too, had Carson Wentz. I agree with you. I just feel the guy's never been the same since for a couple years. Too many injuries. I'm taking Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben's too old. I feel that he's aged out. I think he should retire. He showed his age last year. He missed a lot of passes, Kasey. We watched some games together, and I remember he missed open receivers by 10 to 20 yards. That should have been touchdowns. I feel Ben Roethlisberger, he's seen better days, and I just feel that age just got catched up to him. Great career. He's in the Hall of Fame, but all being said, Ben Roethlisberger, you should not draft.
All right, Ross, value picks. I'll let you go first.
Sleeper picks my sleeper pick is your bust is Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
wait, hold on. We have to make a distinction. We've done sleepers. Sleepers are the ones who are they're going to be juggernauts. But value picks is what you're talking about. And these are people you can get late in the draft who you think are going to do a lot better. I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead.
Go ahead. That's fine. Value picks for me, Trevor Lawrence. He probably won't be drafted in all the leagues you're in. If it's a 10-person league, he probably won't be drafted. I feel that everywhere he goes, the kid's a winner. High school, college, freshman in college, he won the national championship. The kid's a winner. Look at his hairline. It's unbelievable. He has great hair, too. Unbelievable. This guy has everything. And I think he's getting married, too, or he got married. But, I mean, this kid has everything. I feel that he'll be in a situation where he'll actually do really well this year. I'm rooting for the kid. I like rookie quarterbacks. Another great, I like Justin Fields for Chicago Bears. I think Justin Fields will show a lot. He's going to be a great pro quarterback. He showed a lot of promise in college at Ohio State. He was a winner. And I just feel that these young quarterbacks will come in the league and do exceptionally well. We'll see what happens.
All right, so here's my 2 value picks, and I'm going to make another bold statement here. I think both of these quarterbacks are going to end up top 12 quarterbacks.
Great.
Tom Brady. Why are we downgrading him at all?
Not at all. He's still the GOAT.
He doesn't run.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Dr. Dan Ratner.
Kasey again. This is nitpicking, but I think he should be in the top 10. I also think Baker Mayfield has arrived as a very reliable quarterback. Will he be back end of the 12? Yes, he will. He's not going to put up those numbers because they run the ball so much. But he's efficient. He's good. He also is capable of running the ball. If you want a top 12 quarterback cheap, I know I'm a Browns fan, but that should make you trust me even more. I don't trust the Browns, and I'm saying this. I now trust Baker Mayfield. Okay, guys, this was a great preview of quarterbacks. We hope you've given you what you need out there, but we would love to have arguments with you. So, if you haven't already, click subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, hit like if you like what you're hearing, and put your comments below, and we'll get back to you personally.